Hey, woo, we're here.
And
We
yes,
are
we
here.
are.
We are here.
And we did it again,
Yes, we did.
just in the nick of time.
Nick of time, not by the hair of my chinny chin. Trying to figure out where our camera is setting at. Someplace around there. Oh, there it is.
Yes.
So we're looking. Okay, so it's up there, right there. When you look up there, you can
Yes.
see it. But we're looking at ourselves on the camera all the time. I mean, what's it?
The screen.
Next time we'll have to set the screen up in such a way where we are able to look at. Oh, I know I can do this. Watch this.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did that better?
That's better.
Is that butter?
Butter.
Butter, baby. Okay, there we go. Shoot. All right. Okay.
Yes.
So now we can just take a look. They can see it, and they can see ourselves better too.
Yes.
What are we all about? And tell us who we are. Then we can go from there. Yeah.
I don't know who we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am Zare. You are Imar, and
Mhm.
we are taking the journey together.
Exactly.
Yes. And you know what I forgot again?
No.
The little thing that says what taking the journey is all about.
Oh.
Tells the thing that tells our belief statement.
Oh, well, hopefully you could do it by memories many times that you have did it
Yes.
before. Hopefully.
I can definitely do it by memory, but I just get a little wordy with it. That's why I was relying on the other.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right.
Well, here comes the hopefully not too wordy version.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to relate.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what a mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, auntie, or even Jesus says. We are going to relate.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the journey together, believe in relating in a balanced way. And when we say balanced, what we mean is relating in such a way that you have your that you are with your lover and your friend. I should say friend first, and then your lover, and that both aspects are present in both people.
Aspects.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Short enough?
I guess so. I'm. You can tell my eyes are here, but then again, I'm doing some other stuff at the same time. That's the shamelessness
Always.
of having me chained to this studio and doing this show. We don't have the luxury of having the engineer in the background that I hear.
Some people have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So anyway, let's move
Well, that's
on.
because you're so great that people think that
I really appreciate that. I really do. I'm gonna start taking those positive input things and looking at them differently, and not look at them as being um, just either a shameless plug or someone just being what's the word I want to use?
placating.
No, just not
No.
being too serious. So
Yes.
I'm gonna take it positive. That's what
It
I'm
is.
gonna
It
do.
is positive.
I'm gonna take it positive.
But that's one of those things in relationships too that
Mhm.
we need to work on that we don't talk about a lot,
Mhm.
and that is taking compliments. A lot of people, especially if you're not a selfish person,
Mhm.
you have trouble taking compliments, and that's the way you are. You really have trouble taking compliments,
Because I
and
don't get enough.
you blow. And even
That's
when
where
you
that
do,
comes
you
from.
don't take them well.
Well, is that why you're saying that maybe that's why I don't get enough because people feel I'm not going to really take them well enough, so therefore they don't give it. That could
Well,
be
it might be
that
for
could it
some
could be
people,
that
yeah,
could be a
and in
soul and
some
reaping principle,
situations.
but that's only
But
because, as I said before, most of the time I don't get too many compliments from that particular end, which probably has made me a pretty kind of old school, sometimes tough skinned individual. That man, I'm gonna do what I need to do anyway, whether you say something nice to me about it anyway.
yeah,
But still, there's a need
yeah.
to have that kind of feedback because what happens is you could build up toxicity within your own self, and then the person that feels that way, that's a toxic. Excuse me. That's a toxic way to even think in the first place.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say anything to this person because they might not be able to see. You don't know
Yeah.
that. Number one. Number two, you shouldn't be that in a way in the first place with
Mhm.
someone that you care about
Right.
from that end. So yeah, it's not is what it is. It just shouldn't be that way.
Absolutely. Yes,
So
we need to learn, and that's on all sides. Learn to do things a little bit better and a little bit different, and and it's just one of those situations where
mm-hmm,
you know we all have things that we need to work on better,
mm-hmm,
and in our community especially, compliments are hard to take because we always get told, if you look for compliments, or you have or you think people are
With,
supposed to give you
before you
compliments,
go
then
on,
you're
let's
being too
bring
haughty.
our guest
Yes,
in the background, and let's give her some compliments of coming in. She's waiting so patiently in the background,
she
and you got
is.
to remember she makes $500 an hour working with people.
I know. And
Period.
because it's two of us, we got to pay her
No,
$1,000 an hour.
I ain't paying her nothing. But let's bring her in.
See, I tried.
Sister, I didn't say that. Seriously. You know I got much love. You're a kindred spirit, so you know we paid in the heavenlies above. The ancestors paid us from that end.
Definitely.
Though I know you like a little change, but oh my
So,
I
goodness.
love it. I love it. I love it. That was awesome.
So
how are you
how you
today?
doing today?
I am doing well. I am doing well within. I
Mhm.
am in Alabama in my grandparents' home.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I guess you are doing well because that should do a lot for grounding and for, mellowing out your spirit.
Yes, I'm literally in their old room on literally. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Are they passed away from this world?
Yes, they're in another realm,
Well,
but they are still
oh,
here. So yes.
Yes.
yeah. Wow. Well, I hope they do a good job of channeling the energy through you because I know you're very clairvoyant and have what's it called empathy.
Empathic.
And then mix that together with the psychology part that has to do with the physics of our mind and our brain that we, how can I say it? We are connected to, we're grafted to,
Yeah.
and allow us to be able to express ourselves in this plane from that end. So we hope that they also help you say some wise things today because we're talking something today as we've been doing for a while. I think if you looked at our last tape about keeping your word, and
Yeah.
back in that day, woo, they kept the good or bad, they kept their word.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Oh, you are right. But I wanted to address something that you all were talking about earlier, if
Okay.
you don't mind. You were
No,
talking
no.
about compliments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, that goes all the way back to slave times where we had to hush our children and ourselves when giving them a compliment. Even we do it now
Mm-hmm.
when the melanin deficient, I'll just say that for lack of a better term, would
Mm-hmm.
say something nice and our children did something wonderful, we go, hush up, just don't say nothing. Hush up, child.
Yeah.
And we did it to our children and grandparents did it where we wouldn't acknowledge, we couldn't acknowledge that.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it goes way back. So that's innate in a lot of us. And we
Wow.
have to work on that. All of us
Mhm.
have to
Yes.
work on that.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think about now some of the families that I observed with their kids that when they did have some kind of compliments, either an outside aunt or a friend or something they read through a book on the TV, some of the parents would kind of hush them down. Some of the parents were like, "Don't get too big for your
Yeah. Yeah.
britches."
And you gonna give her or him the big head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Yes, yes.
no, that's just
Hmm.
good. And so we don't know how to deal with it.
Sometimes they would. I know some families outright would say, "That's what white folks do. We don't do that here."
Yeah.
Yep,
I
yep,
mean, serious.
Yeah.
yes,
They would say
seriously.
that. Yeah, but you know what? They will call them little demons. They call them little devils.
True, true. That is very true. But we must acknowledge our compliments to our
Yeah.
children, actually to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Compliment yourself. Look in the mirror and go, "Hey, you look good."
Mm-hmm.
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 Yes.
Smile
Yes.
for yourself. Do that for yourself. Embrace the compliments of you, so you'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to embrace the compliments of others. But I was thinking about you all when I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I really do appreciate my brother and my sister. I mean, it's beyond an appreciation, and just to have me as a guest on this show, I look at you all as the breath and myself as the hiccup. So I thank you for
Mm.
that.
Why you use the word hiccup?
Well, think about it. The hiccup is spontaneous, it's unexpected, and I teach you to
Mm-hmm.
breathe differently.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm typing real quickly something to
yes,
Doc. Please, I
yes,
told him, please come on in. He's in the background in the car. He said, all right for being in the car. Please come on in. I told him,
absolutely.
yeah, he can come in the car. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Well, all I
I
can,
like I
hold on,
like
hold on.
that
You know
though.
what I'm saying? That means we need to get her drunk so she can hiccup more. No, I'm just get you that champagne bubbly. No,
Yes,
no, no, not the that champipple.
shampoo.
Champipple. You know how Fred
Fred
used to do it?
Sanford.
Yeah, he had to do his champipple. Come on now.
But I like that the breath and the hiccup.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are the breath between the two of us, and I'm more the hiccup because every now and then I have something special that I say, something
Okay,
special that comes
so
through.
that was a compliment. I guess I'll take that compliment, and
Yes,
I'll
yes,
breathe
Yes,
it in.
yes.
It's amazing
and
to
that steady flow.
it's amazing today. I'm going to send you this link, by the way, Latita. There is a doctor from India who's a neurologist, and he's studying. Excuse me, I'm sorry. She is studying the effect and relationship of how the body deals with it in the area of stress.
Mm.
And oh, doctor's got to, hold on, let me bring the doctor in because he got to hear this too. He's going to love it. Hey, Doc.
Hey there.
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Fraser?
Welcome.
I'm
Welcome.
doing excellent. Thank y'all.
Don't drive on the side of the road, man. We don't. This is live, so we don't want you to try to sue us.
No, you good. You good. You good.
We, we,
Well,
we did. Go ahead.
if I hurt myself, I ain't gonna be able to sue you.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. There, folks, y'all heard it because I'm recording this, so just
Right.
remember that it's being recorded. No, I just
Right.
was talking, Doc, that I'm looking at, and Sharon's gonna look at this weekend. This study over this neurologist assistant article from India who's looking at the connection between how stress affects relationships, but mainly the body connection to it, right down to the different chemicals. I know you'd be interested because you talk about it
Oh
all the
yeah.
time. But
Oh yeah.
this is, in this case, in a reflection to how how it affects you in the relationships. In fact, one of the things I'll just give it away because we're going to talk about that one time as a subject: stress and resilience.
Mhm.
Very important, the resilience part in dealing with stress. And she was talking about how that that's that one part I'm talking about, that the body is really an organ, and that the body really being one of your organs that not many people think about. Your whole skin is really an organ.
That's
and and
Mhm.
and that body representation, the mind uses it as also another boundary to the world. Well, first, a boundary to keep your insides in, and a boundary to make sure that things on the outside doesn't get in. But
that's
also
right.
in your own psyche, it's a boundary too that you use in life. And I was telling Sharon today where we were driving, how sometimes in some relationships, sadly, but we do, you come up with that, I gotta have my what?
Space.
My space. And what
Right.
happens on the unhealthy side is you can't touch me. You can't get near me whatsoever. And we know in a balanced, healthy relationship, that's not a philosophy
Right.
that you should be bringing in. Not at all. And I'll just end it there because she was talking about how it actually affects us in the inside and how chemically how we are connected to our own neurology. But I said when we do our show on resilience, we'll talk more about it. Have you heard about that before, Doc?
Oh yes. Dr. Amen speak about that as in healthy touch. You know what I'm saying? Touch is the T in pretty much relationship. You know what I'm saying? Besides time. But it's the T in relating. Healthy touch. So when you're not getting healthy touch, then you don't send the signals like oxytocin and all type of stuff like that to the
Oh,
brain.
I
Those
guess we weren't supposed to hear the rest of it. I can't hear you, bro.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Oh,
You
yeah,
still can't hear
you're
me?
breaking up. I don't know where he's
Oh,
at.
I was in a little area.
Latita, until we get him back, did you want to say anything about that? Because we can't
Well,
hear
I
him.
mean, it's always
We can't
fascinating.
hear you either.
Oh wow. Okay.
What
I
is
can hear
going
I hear
you.
on
her.
here?
I hear you, Dr. Frazier.
We can't hear both of
Right,
you.
and I hear you.
Let me try something real
You
quickly here.
remember the
But we
last show,
hear.
Dr. Frazier?
Can you guys hear us?
Right.
Can you hear
Yes,
us?
yes,
Okay, they can
yes,
hear. Why
yes.
is it that we can't hear them?
I don't
Oh
know.
man, every time this has happened before, that
Yes.
should not be happening.
So
Let me
so
go
Doc,
into let's see.
Yes.
How should we
so
do this?
I with
No,
the
no, no,
body,
no.
he's steady talking too.
Hey, you two go ahead
Yeah.
and talk. You two
Okay.
go ahead and
Okay.
talk
Yeah,
between each
that's
other.
what we're
Oh.
doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Here we go.
doing. That's what we're doing. Okay,
Let me
so
put it. Okay.
because every cell
Get it.
has its own memory, every nerve, every organ has its
Yeah.
own memory. And you were talking about healthy touch,
So we can hear
but
us too.
when we talk about that, when that person states, "Hey, don't touch me," are they actually saying, "Hey, I don't
Oh, one, two,
want
three.
you to receive the unhealthiness of me as well?"
That could very well be that, because for them to have that resonating around them, that
They're not
energy,
open the
then,
mixer.
you can get some of that
There it
from
is.
that by
Oh,
touching them.
there it
Right,
You
is.
know what I'm saying? You'll see,
This one.
it's like almost like a rapport, and if
right,
you're not in sync with each other, then it's going to either cause you to feel some type of way too if you're touching on them and they not, you know, having
right.
no
Not
positive energy
reciprocating.
come. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
See,
hear you
that's what.
now.
Okay, you can hear us.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
you can stop talking about us. We hear you now.
We got it all.
No,
Excellent,
I'm sorry.
excellent.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I had brought up to Dr. Frazier that what if that person who says, "Hey, don't touch me," is telling you don't touch me because they don't want to transfer that unhealthiness to you.
Wow, that's a pretty
Yeah.
wise person. If
Yeah.
they are that conscious of that in that particular matter, that means they must. I hope they understand the toxicity.
Yes, they do. I'm actually one of those people because years ago when I was feeling a certain type of way, and I would tell my children, "Hey, I need you guys to go to your room." And they knew what that meant because I didn't want them to experience that particular energy that I was feeling, you
Oh,
know.
Mm.
And so you don't, if you're mindful of that, and I know a lot of mothers that are, if you're mindful of that, your grandmother said, "Go to the room, get on out of here." That's them saying, "Hey, I don't want you to be a part of what's going on with me right now."
Mhm. Yeah.
I
yeah.
can see
I,
that.
You
I
know?
can see that.
I was going to interpret it that way and say, I just remember when the strap came up and I came in the room, I knew enough to turn back around and skedaddle.
But
You
yeah,
don't want to get touched
so
by that, ain't
right.
No, no.
But
You know,
yeah, so we
that's not being touched by an angel, by the way, folks.
it?
I'm
Right.
telling you, it's not being touched by an angel.
but that is not to be looked at, the "Hey, don't touch me" as something to don't do. If you are aware of that, do that. That's what I'm saying. If you're as wholly aware, and I said wholly aware of yourself, and when I say holy, and I mean it both, HOLY and WHOLLY. That's wholly aware and HOLY, wholly aware, because we're going to call that sacredness. Okay, of you. If you're aware of you, say that to that person when you feel that way, because we're constantly transferring energy. It's a constant thing. It's not something that you can just go, "Hey, I'm going to stop it." It's going to transfer. But if you can get somebody out your way for a minute so they don't feel the full impact, do that. That shows
Now,
that love.
can I share something? It's just something
Mhm.
that you kind of said, and I was just speaking with somebody about this awareness, and I know you're saying what you're aware of. Well, whatever you aware of is the state that you're in. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
aware of being something, then yes, you're going to be that. So it's more or less how we were talking about is to make yourself aware of what you want to be. Because
Yep.
if you're aware that you have low energy, then that's a low state that itself to be aware of low energy. Low energy is not a high state of being. So to be aware of that is to actually like pull it into yourself. So you want to be able to say, well, I'm aware of my high energy. I'm aware that I'm happy right now, even though you might be a little sad about something. It's just how your awareness of it is what's going to transmute that negative energy and put you into a healthy state where you can only manifest, you know,
Uh-oh.
energy and health and all that type stuff. So it's
You're
really
Right.
kind of
about
you're kind of breaking up.
transmuting that.
Yeah,
We're
he's
breaking
kind
up
of breaking
again.
up a little bit, but yeah, what we can you guys hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
I can hear
okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Could
good.
could
That's
you
good.
hear me too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
Doc, I heard the
he
rest
got a
of it.
hiccup.
I did. It was a little bit of hiccup, but we understand. You're speaking of that awareness, or being a conscious, or the highest level, or being transcendent.
Yeah.
It's all under the heading of. Are you aware that you're a sentient being? Many people don't even
Right.
have that kind of awareness that they're a
Right.
sentient being. Most of us in this stream are pretty much conscious of us being sentient being, but a lot of people are not that, and
Right.
have no real conscious. They do not much reflection of themselves, even though there's many things you could do to find out with the reflection of yourself. Or there's some people that have either ancestors or some spirit or themselves who's been very open to talk with them ever since they were they were young as can be. They understood this is who they were, and it always was consciously giving them that response to them. This is who you are, and yada yada yada. But it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody has that conscious. But no doubt about it, to move into that particular area still connects to what we're talking about, but it's even better because it starts with yourself. Do you keep your
Yeah.
own word when
To
it comes
you.
to your own self?
Yes.
Do you keep your own word? Are you going piggybacking off of you too, as we just talked about? Do we keep our own word from the standpoint of I'm well? I want to be well. I do good things in this world. I'm very positive. I'm lifting, because we know there's a lot of parasites outside of people on the outside that are running in tapes, or as you talked about before, Dr. Fraser, a subconscious, whether it's through racism, whether it's through your family who've talked to you negatively, on things that you see on TV. That's like a parasite that's running constantly 24/7, telling you, no, you're not. No, you're not. Now you're not that. But you're trying to move forward, and you're getting that battle that's happening within you. So do you have the understanding that it's important for you to keep your own word when it comes to you? What do you guys think about that, by the way?
Well, it is important. And there are a lot of auto suggestions that we do to each other, and not just from a medical standpoint. You know, we'll say I've heard this just recently, girl, you know, you broke. No, I'm not broken. Yeah, I'm well together. I'm
Right.
well together. I'm well put together. And so we have to stop saying things like that upon ourselves. But,
Yes.
because we don't speak life. That I have learned that time and time again when I talk to people, we don't speak life. What we speak is what I just said. Girl, I'm gonna spoil my grandbabies. No, darling, I renew my grandchildren. I don't know about you, but I renew mine. So, it's the words are powerful because it does parlay with the subconscious, as Doc knows. He knows this. And so we have to speak life upon ourselves. And if I could just channel back, just swim back just for a moment with the life raft to to
I'm
embracing,
giving you two paddles. Here's two paddles right now.
because he was talking about low energy. The
Mhm.
reason why I embrace all low energies, because they come in different forms, that's to recognize it in other people. So when it comes to me, I can go, oh, okay. You understand? So I embrace all energy factions, whether you call it low, medium, high, the biggest thing you've ever seen. I embrace it all to learn and observe from it so you can see it when it comes up, or feel it when it comes about. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Yes.
do. The
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
part I say is once I learn out what it is, it's gone. I try to make sure it don't
Gone.
happen again. Nah,
Right. Once
it's
I
like
once
put my
once
hand
I
over the
leave.
burning stove and burn. Nah, I ain't doing it again. I learned from it.
Right. Yeah, once I leave kindergarten and go to first grade, I'm aware that I don't want to go back to kindergarten. As I go up high, we call that the map of consciousness. As you raise up and elevate in consciousness, you observe other people. You're aware that, oh, they're in fear, oh, they're in anger, they operating from a level of desire, they operating from a level of neutrality or acceptance. You know, you'll see the different states of people as you go through them. So you have to usually experience the state before you can observe it in other people. It had to have already happened in you. You're correct. I love the way you said that. Well, once you leave out there, you don't have to.
Uh-oh.
You
He's
done lost
breaking
it
up,
again,
isn't it?
Frank?
Oh, okay, you froze up a minute, Doc. You actually
Yeah,
froze.
Doc, you froze up at the end of that.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Every time you make a point, you froze up, and that's saving me money, so you don't charge me.
Well, I
So,
love what you said, the map. I actually have an acronym. I deal with acronyms, right? So
Don't
my
she? She can't take a hot. She can't take a hot one. You know she can't take that one. No, you can't have that
I
one.
can't take that one. But my map is mission and purpose. So
Uh-huh.
every moment I go out with mission and purpose, whether it's to make someone smile or to listen to that person or to give that person a hug. So that's my map every single moment of every week.
You know, all the stuff we are talking about is very ideal. We all know that. When we deal with our life every day and we do have those toxic people in our life, do we also have the ability to understand that, since we're talking about the different, well, we were talking about different concepts of keeping your word. One of the things that we talked about in keeping your word is commitment. Do we have the ability and do we understand the ability to honor our own commitment to ourselves? Do
Yes.
we have that ability to do it? Because that's a long-term, everyday kind of thing. We can say that to our ancestors. We can say that to certain historical things that happen. But do we really have the ability many times, let's keep it for real, to actually commit to honoring ourselves in that matter? Kind of like you, Doc, when you put me on that salamander diet.
that you're still on, right? That you're still on, right?
You had me eating like a rabbit.
So you still eating like a rabbit, right? Are you still eating like a rabbit? Did you
close.
freeze?
It's close.
Did you
Maybe
freeze?
2 rabbits.
Hey, did you freeze just then?
So again, that's an example. I'll use myself. That's an example of how do we really, in keeping word for our own self, are we going to be honorable to? I think it goes back to, and we can all talk more about it. I think it all has to go back to, how do we digest? How do we eat? How do we swallow positive affirmations or things that people say as compliments? How do we do that? Have we been doing it? Is it really part of us? And if so, do we really then use that as a fuel to be able to honor ourselves for that matter?
But it's not a part of us for the most part, because we weren't taught it when we were, back in our formative years, we weren't taught it. And so as adults, it's foreign to us. We want to embrace it, but we're not comfortable embracing it because we still hear, if you say something really good about yourself,
From Germany. Wow.
If you say something really good about yourself, then you're being conceited, and so we still have that negativity running in our heads, or in our spirits, in our hearts, and in our everything, because that's how entrenched we are in it. And it's really difficult to get rid of it, because we don't know when we got it. It was there. One day we woke up and it was like, ooh, I can't say that about myself. I can't stand in the mirror and say, oh, you're looking good today, girl. Because then I'm being conceited because I'm thinking too highly of myself. And we don't know exactly where that is.
Has that actually happened to you? Because you can't be speaking for everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. I have gone, I'm getting better now. But, well, I
Girl, you stand in the mirror so long, I'm wondering if you look good. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking, folks. Really, I'm joking.
I don't have time usually. But
shoot, before you go to school, you always in front of that mirror. Come on now.
I don't have that much time.
Because you got to be in front of that audience every day.
They get what they get.
As a teacher, she's you remember that old hip hop song, "Mama's Always on Stage"? It was done by Arrested Development. You guys probably don't know anything about that. That's it. Y'all don't know that. Anyway, this mama's always on stage every day. Every day she went to school. Every time she goes to school for years, she is always on stage, and she like it too. By the way, she's good at what she does, being on stage with kids.
Yeah, but it's not been been easy. I have even been in that arena, and at the same time been self-conscious of the way I looked, been self-conscious of the way I spoke, of the way I moved and things like that, because even if I looked in the mirror and said, oh, that looks good on you. And that's with me making my own clothes, and making it to where I wanted to be. It was taboo for me to admit that it was as perfect as I wanted it to be. And I don't know really where that came from, but it was there.
Well, we're going to get ready to go. We're going to get ready to go. Hold on for a minute. We got to do a commercial break, like we usually do about this time. We're going to do a commercial break. Then we'll come back to it. I'm going to add something on top of it because we're now dealing with self. And thank you guys for doing that instead of with both of us, because it's important to start with the self and then deal with the other person. That part of that commitment is being able to what is it? Commitment means letting the person receive the promise. So that means there are promises that are mixed in this commitment, that are mixed in this honoring of ourselves. Promises from that end. So we're going to talk more about it. I will be right back, folks. Just hold on. All right, we're back. We're back again. We're going to go through some shameless, what do you call it? Plugs real quickly. Go ahead, Sharon.
Well, actually, they're not shameless.
Okay, you're right.
You know
That's
what?
right. See, I didn't learn it real quickly.
No.
I didn't write.
They are shameless, and they have a right to be shameless.
Okay.
Because this is us talking about us and what is important for us, so that everybody can know.
Okay, and also for those who are listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everything in your life you need to be ashamed of.
Okay.
And so this is us. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the sister girl here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this
Go
is
ahead.
us. We are on WRUU, which is a radio station. It's a local radio station. We are on WRUU every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. You can go to WRUU.org in order to hear our latest programming at that particular time. WRUU.org. And listen to past relationship shows.
How about?
Or you can email us if you need to get in touch with us, ttjt@takingthejourney-together.com. Or you can find us on Facebook at TTJ Together. And Instagram is instagram.com/takingthej together. We're going to take the J together. And on the web, we are takingthejourney-together.com.
I'm gonna break both of them. Hey, real quickly, since we're in the middle of trying to advertise things, tell us where we quickly can get a hold of. I'll do ladies first. Latina, where can we hear from you, or people can hear from you if they want to hear from you from that end? We don't hear you. We don't hear you. I don't have you on mute either.
Can you hear?
Say something, Doc. Can you talk?
I can't hear her.
Okay, we can't.
Okay.
We can't hear you.
Me either?
No, we got you.
We can hear you. We can hear you, Doc.
Just not Latina.
Okay, she was on mute. No, we still can't hear you. Okay, so while you're fixing that, we're gonna have Doc. Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead and tell us where they can catch you at.
Well, they can catch me right here in Savannah, Georgia. They can come see me at the house, or they can go.
I like we
They
did.
can see us on Tuesdays on Our Black Media at 6 o'clock. They can tune in via YouTube or Facebook Live. They can contact us at 912-272-8381 or email us at savannahnaturalhealth@gmail.com.
Are you there? Thank you too, Doc.
No problem.
Latia, are you still there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. In
Oh,
fact,
okay.
you look much better too.
Okay, you can follow me at Shadowkeeper L on the talkity tip of the tickety talk. Okay, or you can find me at Latita Jackson on Facebook. So, and just literally message me or do what other people do. Just call me at random times.
Now, next time, what we need from both of you is for you to send us your information so we can make a banner and we can have it scrolling across the bottom also. Your information.
You guys have been here long enough that she's going to make me work. Excuse me.
But you do it so well.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely do that. Sharon, why don't you read this? Because, I mean, this is a good topic. We wouldn't plan to go this way, but I think we get as much as we can in here. So read the honoring portion, and remember we're talking about us, not necessarily the other person.
And this is under honoring a commitment, and this is one of the things that you need to be aware of for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep every commitment.
No, up here.
For me, it would be I can't.
Okay, go ahead. You're right, because it was we. Go ahead.
Yes.
That's how we had the notes. I'm sorry.
Yes. I can't keep every commitment I make. Not everything is in my control. But most of the commitments can be honored. And by honoring a commitment, it means letting any other person that is going to be affected by that receiving the promise, let them know as soon as possible. As soon as possible. That's been me all day today.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know as soon as possible that the commitment is at risk. And that includes me, letting myself know that what I had planned to do, even if it was something that I planned to do for me, let it be known that it may be at risk. For example, a week ago, I was going to wash my hair. A week ago, the way time was passing, I knew that was not going to happen. But I kept telling myself, oh, I'm going to wash my hair tonight. Oh, I'm going to wash my hair tonight. At some point, I knew it wasn't going to happen. And then I ended up feeling bad because, I said I was going to wash my hair, but I didn't. I should have let it be known to myself. I should have acknowledged it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had also said to Imart, I'm going to wash my hair tonight. I never said to him, I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. It's not going to happen. So let's make other plans. And it just kept on going because I kept lying to myself.
Exactly. So the risk of feeding her potential of feeling guilty was actually open as part of that toxicity, because she wasn't keeping a promise to her own self and keeping that commitment. And how many times I call it parasitic energy, and some of you guys call it something else, that we actually created, and we do things to let it be fed, or we feed it upon our own self. I call it many times, what is it called when that happens, Sharon? What is it called?
Shadow.
No. When you do it over and over again, not for taking for granted. What's the other one? No. Anyway, I'll come over there later. When you keep on stop doing something that you know you need to do, but you just don't do it anyway. What's the word?
almost a hypocrite.
No, no. The word
but I know
comes
what
from
you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of people do that
we're,
now.
we're all there, but none of us can come up with the word.
Oh, I got it. It starts with a P. Procrastination.
Oh,
Procrastination.
that used to be my middle name.
Yeah, procrastination. Yeah, definitely.
I would get things done, but it was always at the last minute.
Sometimes you didn't even do it then.
I usually did it, but it was at the last minute.
So how many of us here have dealt with procrastination, and give us one of the ways that you are able to honor yourself and not let procrastination be a real centerpiece that could eat at you with guilt?
Oh, wow. Procrastination and I got married back in 1986 of May.
Was it a good marriage?
We had several children, fear, anger. We had a lot of babies. We did. I finally said to procrastination, listen, I'm going to divorce you. But it took about 5 years because I procrastinated on the procrastination. I'm telling you. I did that. Yes. True story.
I understand that. Wow. Doc, what you think, Doc?
Well, I procrastinate a lot about things, and it's usually what I've noticed and learned, even watching people, helping them come out of procrastination. It's usually like they're not getting a reward to get the thing done. So if there's no reward there, then we're going to procrastinate, because if it's something that's going to give a reward, you think we'd be procrastinating? Let's say if your wife say, hey, you get this room, get your clothes off the room. I got something special for you tonight.
Okay.
Guess what's
This is a
gonna
big
happen?
show, so watch out, Doc.
That stuff gonna be picked up. But if she just telling you, hey, go get that stuff out of there, hey, that's gonna be the last thing on your mind to do that day. So
But
usually there's no reward.
That's taught. Think about that. That reward system is taught in school. You turn in your paper, you get a star, you get an A. So it's ingrained in us to do something and get a reward and an award for it. I mean, even when it comes to degrees. Remember, learning is free, education is what you pay for. So we're on that reward system because we're taught about that. It's ingrained in us, actually.
Yeah, you even see that in autism. If you see that mostly autistic people, they don't do stuff that's boring, but they'll do stuff that's, like if you get a child to try to get them to do some math or some work, he probably take him forever to do it or just can't get it. But put him in front of his favorite game. You'll see that he's doing all kind of stuff with that game. So he's not getting dopamine release in the stuff that's boring, but he's getting dopamine when it's something that he likes. So that's that reward in the brain and the pleasure center. He's getting pleasure from that. So it calls him to be stimulated to be able to move and do something. But when we procrastinate, and that's one of the main things up under ADHD or autism in the spectrum, it's going to be procrastination. That's one of the biggest terms in there that they use. And so we'll see that that's happening when we're not getting that dopamine release.
So what do you think about the cultural dynamics of having stereotypes that are also put on us as African Americans that will feed into that either you're not intellectual or not? That's the first where it started. And from there, you're not human enough. So much, Malcolm X fought for at the end before he passed away. That will feed that same kind of tape, and we procrastinate about things that we should be doing to have us be better, whether it's better in our language, whether it's better in our conscious knowledge, or how about the main important, better in how we treat one another. What do you guys, what's your thought about that?
Well, that was the second part of procrastination, where, when we look at the subconscious mind is what you consider to be impersonal. It's impersonal, so whatever comes to it, it's going to manifest that. Like, you can say, well, I don't want to do something, or it can't decipher what's good and what's bad, not the subconscious mind. So whatever comes to it, that's what it's going to reflect back into the world. So if these cultures are designed to, limit us or put certain beliefs on us, and if it's constantly repeated to the subconscious mind over and over again, then that subconscious mind in each one of us is our maker. So you're going to behave according to that subconscious programming from that culture that you're in.
I know you got. I can see something on the back tip of your tongue, Miss Latia. Come on, you gotta say something. Come on,
No, what he was saying, but I refer to it as subconscious suppression, because what happens is this is a taught mechanism. We're taught about the compliments. We're taught that. We're taught about the reward award system. All of it is taught to us to suppress who we are, and on top of the suppression, the oppression comes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so now you have the suppression, the oppression, and it's just a never ending loop with I'm not going to say a lot of us, but for those that I've come into contact with,
what
it's a
what?
never ending loop.
Why would you not expect that by the oppressor? Anyway.
That part, oh dang, that part. That is literally preaching to the audience, amen. And I say amen, that's AMAN, okay, AMAN. Because
Oh, she
man
just.
man is the manipulator of man, okay, and certain men manipulate better than others, okay, and it's that certain man right now that is the consistent manipulator that we're consistently dealing with right now.
So
And
so. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and what I would like to tell the listening audience is you're going to have to give yourself a stringent brainwashing.
Yeah.
Everything that you thought you knew, that you thought you thunk, that you think, just start brainwashing yourself out. And it's okay to doubt what you've been taught. It's okay. It's all right to doubt what you've been taught. And it's like a baby crawling, a baby teething, a baby learning to suckle on the tit. You're starting all over again with you, because you're the most important person right now.
Exactly. Watch you guys language now. This is kids program. No, I'm just joking. I heard that teak thing. Hey, stop. You got to earn that. No, I'm just joking. How do we hold ourselves? I want to move through this because we could be here for a long time. And y'all know we could. How do we hold ourselves accountable to that? Now, usually when we talk about this stuff, how do you hold our mates accountable? But now we're talking about ourselves. Obviously, we got to first start with ourselves anyway. How do we hold ourselves accountable when it comes to this? Now, we had it where it was broke down in 3 places when it comes to being accountable. Tasks that hand suffers, individuals receive a lost trust, and the relationship strengthened is compromised. So how does that? How do we deal with that with us when it comes to holding ourselves accountable? Or should we think?
Keeping our word to
Or
ourselves.
should we? Should we do like some spiritual people say? We are free spirited, so therefore we should have to hold ourselves accountable. Let life hold you accountable. Don't take all that trouble up and stress about worried about with your own stuff. I see.
Hey, I
Go ahead.
kind of agree with that last statement. Because when we understand consciousness, what I'm saying, you got individual consciousness, you got societal consciousness, like a culture-based consciousness, and then you got the universal consciousness. And the behavior of mankind is subjected to the conscious state of the individual, or the individual culture, or the collective consciousness, the collective people. So until the consciousness raise up in the individual, then his behavior is going to be that way. Until the culture, with the consciousness of the culture change, well, then the culture is going to be operating from, this crazy state or this low state. Until the collective conscious, raise up to a higher state of being, man become, gods instead of, mere mortal men, you know what I mean, in mindset, we're going to be in these low states of consciousness, and we're going to have all these issues. So I would say the total thing would, and the you'll say the way it's going to be forever is if when we become clear in our state of consciousness. Now those other ways going to take more willpower, conscious willpower. Instead of, we can go ahead and program the subconscious mind, and we don't have to worry about sitting here trying to do right, trying to be good and all. It can be ingrained in us, just like all this foolishness ingrained in us.
Okay, so go, Tita.
I would like to say we've already won and don't even know it. It's like a black man thinking he's drowning and all he had to do was stand up.
So I see, said the blind man that saw.
Right? We've got to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that whatever winning is, we've done it 30-fold in this world, what we call the globe, or I call the plan it. Because it's a plan.
It's a plan. But yeah, don't doubt it. It kind of reminds me how when we watch cartoons or watch other show, and someone's walking out and they're talking, and it comes near someone talking about an idea, and this bulb shows up all of a sudden behind them, and then they go, "Hey, this idea, I become conscious," boom, and the light bulb turns on. So it's not like the light bulb's never been there. It's never been something that's been conscious to that person. So your abilities to be able to connect into the universe has always been there. You just not have been cognizant or conscious of it, and yada yada yada, which is what our brother Dr. Fraser was talking to. Yet once you become that, or you move into that consciousness, you do have the opportunity, the right, and the choice to hold yourself accountable. And that comes through, you guys know, the power of focus. The power of focus. That's where energy starts to move for you as a being, through the power of your focus. And many of us are all over the place. We're all over the place. And we're not focusing on anything. And again, because we're still in that state as you talked about, hey, I'm a free agent. It really don't make a difference. Anybody else can affect me. I don't care if it's low or high. It don't make me no difference. I don't need to learn from anything. And you'll see that in their life. They go from one ebb to another ebb to another ebb. And there's really no purpose in their life at all. At all. And I'll be honest with you, I met some folks like that. And to them, they figure that's just life. They'll be that way until they pass away. Seriously.
And they're happy that way until somebody tried to conform them. And then that's when the problems start, because that's all they know.
Or the other way around. Would that be that? Or when life hits them with something they never had an experience, and is not necessarily anything positive, something tragic happens to them, they don't know how to handle it at all. Not even whatsoever.
But one of the things that we have to look at, or we should look at, when we're talking about keeping our word to ourselves, is being self-aware. We need to be honest with knowing what we can accomplish, what we cannot accomplish, what we can accomplish to some extent, and we have to be honest with ourselves in that, because that's one of those things that I've battled with, being able to say, I can't do that. Because somewhere along the line, I learned to be a people pleaser.
Because that's just the job you do as a teacher.
No, it was even before that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And as a teacher, I don't need to be the people pleaser. They need to be the me pleaser. At least that's what they think. And I'm trying to break my students out of that too. Don't give me what you think I want. Think and give me what you believe to be the right thing. Think and trust yourself, because I don't want them to be the way I am, or the way I have been, or the way I'm trying to break out of, where, because you cannot be true to yourself when you're trying to be true to everybody else that you come in contact with, whether you agree with them or believe them or not. You just feel that you have to please them. You can't be true to yourself. So you're not going to keep your word consistently to you, to them, or to anybody else, because you're going to be wavering a lot trying to please them.
So you want maverick. You want maverick thinkers. That's what I call them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was my favorite show, by the way, Maverick. But
Definitely, because you know we're supposed to be building a society or helping a society to grow as teachers. At least that's what I believe. And so, what good would it be if I just had everybody that comes in contact with me? You've got to see the world my way when there are so many different possibilities out there. Already they got their parents saying, this is what I think and this is what you have to think. At what point do they get to think on their own, learn who they are, and learn how to create a thought?
Well, they could have to go through the world like many of us did. Bump, hurt, and then sometimes get pleased, and then it turns us in the inside out, and we finally know who we are and become that consciousness. I mean,
but at least
Brother Malcolm had to go through that in his solitary jail. He had to go on the inside to find out for who he was. Before that time, he was doing a lot of looking on the outside.
Exactly.
So sometimes that may have to go that way.
And that's what I try to instill in them, that you think about what's going on. You make some decisions and make them for you, as opposed to, let me tell you how to do this and what your outcome needs to be, because that might not be who they are.
Okay. Hey, let's get last two words on you guys. We only got 2 minutes left. It's 58. So give us last word. Ladies first, go ahead.
Yeah, you let her go ahead.
Well, don't allow your habit to become your habitat. And remember, the word focus has you in it.
All right.
Wow.
Go ahead. You got to top that now, Dr. Fraser. Come on. You got to top that. Come on. Us brothers wait for you. No, I'm just joking.
All I can do is actually stand under what she's saying, because she said some powerful stuff there. But what I do want to say is, though, it's ideal that we put ourselves in positive environments, because only way that we can raise ourselves to a higher conscious is to be around something that is of a higher conscious, and that it can draw us in its energy. So, just put ourselves in a higher energy.
I love that. Okay. And you know the old saying, a rising tide raises all boats. So let's start thinking more conscious of ourselves in a very positive way, okay? Can you two stay on? I want to say something to you two after our closing, okay, please? I'd appreciate it. There you go. Take care. God bless. Ashe. Take care.